I tell you, today has been one of the worst days of Pep Guardiola. He has gone ahead, obviously, draw with the side of Newcastle 1-1. By the way, if you heard me say about this game of football, I told you it's not something easy. Though some pundits thought that City would easily go and ease past the side of Newcastle, and I was like, it's really going to be a hard game for the side of Man City because they're not having their two most important players in as far as their attack is really concerned. City can defend even without Rodri. They can defend. That's why they've only gone ahead to concede one goal. But how do they create chances without Rodri? And Kevin De Bruyne, because who launches, all sparks off, or really commences the attack? It's all about Rodri. I think in the past seasons, no person was going to collect more touches than Rodri. I think that player is not there. So that's why I come out and tell you that City went ahead, obviously find themselves in a losing position, because if you obviously draw against Newcastle, then the draw you got against Arsenal doesn't count. Why doesn't it count? I'm going to be coming back and we'll let you know why it doesn't count. Welcome to this channel. Smash the like button, comment and share. If you're totally watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. We are powered by Mono Gadgets, dealers in brand new phones and brand new laptops. And even if you want to use phones and use laptops from the United Kingdom, call them on +256 70 99 88 665, and you can follow them on TikTok. Search for Mono Gadgets and you'll see the wide range of products that they really do have for you into the mix. So this is the Rokani Media Football. Rokani David is my name, and this is the eagerly much awaited match reaction for the side of Man City 1, Newcastle 1. It's one of those games that we went ahead obviously coming through, and City went ahead obviously draw points. And as I told you, it doesn't make sense for Man City to really draw against Arsenal and draw against Newcastle, because a draw against Arsenal and a win against Newcastle would have gone ahead to make more sense or carry more sense. But a draw against Arsenal and a draw against Newcastle is one of those games that, or is one of those results that don't really make sense, because when you draw against Arsenal and you win against Newcastle, you all know what it means. That means that you would have gone ahead to collect 4 points. You understand? But if you draw against Arsenal and you draw against Newcastle, you've just gone ahead to collect how many points? You've just gone ahead to collect there will be how many points? Those are 2 points, meaning that it doesn't make sense. You rather lose to Arsenal and win against Newcastle, because you'd have gone ahead to collect 3 points, and right now you drew with Arsenal and you celebrated, and you've gone ahead to draw with Newcastle and you are mourning. So it really gives you vibes of a drop-off, and it is really rewriting history like it did last season, that all the games that Man City lost last season, they lost them without Rodri. Now Rodri looks like he's going to be out until the late or in the wee hours of this season, meaning that Man City have to prepare themselves for playing without Rodri. And I tell you, them without Rodri, they're a side that can be beaten. They've survived without Kevin De Bruyne because their creativity is really huge, but they haven't gone ahead to survive without Rodri, and they might find themselves losing very many points when they're not having Rodri. And their fixtures are really hard, and Pep also knows it very well. But it was just Covadio in the 35th minute, 10 minutes to the end of the first half, putting them ahead. And in the 58th minute, obviously, Anthony Gordon went ahead to score a penalty, and it was really put into the back of the net. Now, let's see how the team stats were into this encounter that was played at the St. James's Park. Now, 11 shots by the side of Newcastle. Man City had 16. 4 shots on target for Newcastle, 6 shots on target by Man City, 37% ball possession by Newcastle. That's really known of them, especially when they're playing big teams. Then City had 63%, but I've always told you that possession doesn't make sense, if at all, you obviously don't really collect 3 points. Then 329 passes completed by the side of Newcastle, and the side of Man City went ahead to obviously complete 553 passes, 78%. 78% passing accuracy by Newcastle, 87% passing accuracy by Man City, 14 fouls by Newcastle, 10 fouls by Man City, 4 yellow cards to both sides, and 0 red cards to both sides. 1 offside to Newcastle, 0 offside to the side of Man City. 5 corners to Newcastle and 6 corners to the side of Man City. So that's how the game of football really went down, and Man City have dropped points. And I tell you, Pep is yet to obviously have a very hectic season ahead of him, unless otherwise he really finds a solution on how he's really going to be playing without having Rodri into his team. And even Kevin De Bruyne, he has been an injury-prone player, and they should find another player that can come through and really do his job, because he is really very, very injury-prone as a player. Now, how does the table look like? I'm talking about the Premier League table as it stands right about now. Man City, 6 games, 14 points, with 8 as the goal difference. Arsenal is playing right now. They've gone ahead to lead Leicester City by 1-0. They're having 14 points. If at all this game ends in the favor of Arsenal, and if at all they really win more points, if at all they score more goals, they might obviously go ahead and really top the table before Liverpool comes to play. Then Liverpool, 5 games played, 12 points with a goal difference of 9. Then Brighton, 6 games played, and they're also having 12 points. Aston Villa is yet to play tomorrow, and Newcastle is at 11 points. Chelsea is playing, and they're also really losing by 1-0. And I think Chelsea is playing against Brentford. So this is what the Premier League table is like, and when we go ahead and really look at how things are really happening, a lot might not really go the right way into the mix. So as it stands, it's all about Man City losing points, and even other sides are really trying to obviously cope up with what we call the pace of Man City, and we note it that these teams will obviously do the due diligence and find themselves into the winning run of the side of Man City. But for Man City, they're not having an easy fixture. Let's all admit their fixture is not all that easy, but they're really trying to put in the required shift altogether. And when we look at the other games that are really being played right now, Chelsea is playing Brighton, and they are at the they are the Stamford Bridge, and they're losing. Chelsea is having 3-1. All right, they've gone ahead to score 3, but Brighton had gone ahead to obviously take the lead. Then we are having Brentford versus West Ham. Brentford is leading by 1-0, and it looks like the first manager that might obviously get a sack might be this manager of West Ham. He's really not getting things right. Everton is taking on Crystal Palace, and guess what is happening? Everton 0, Crystal Palace is really having all in the lead, and we're waiting to see how this is really going to be ending. So that's how the games that are really being played right now are really standing, and we are waiting to see how everything is really going to be panning out. Remember, Liverpool is going to be closing the day as they play away at the side of Wolverhampton Wanderers, and it's really going to be another huge fixture. Now, for Man City, let's go through their next fixtures before they go into the international break. Let's see who they're really going to be playing. City, after drawing with the side of Newcastle, they're hosting Fulham on Saturday. You get? And it's really going to be another huge game for them. Remember, on their return from the international break, They will be taking on Wolverhampton Wanderers, then Southampton, then Bournemouth, then Brighton, and then Tottenham Hotspur. So that is really huge for the side of Man City, and they need to obviously find themselves in the position of rediscovering their winning boots, and scoring boots obviously kill off and really create moments into these beautiful games of football altogether. So guys, thank you very much for watching through. I'm calling upon for your reactions into the comment section a bit about Newcastle versus Man City. 1-1, Moto points dropped. I'm out.